Thank you, Chairman. I want to thank all of our witnesses for being with us today. One of my priorities is to help small businesses, families, and individuals from diverse backgrounds to get access to capital and credit. I want to ask my first questions to Ms. Johnson. As you know, the subcommittee has attached the discussion draft on legislation that I'll be introducing that has to do with putting some guardrails for the small dollar loans. Actually, I was very intrigued by this proposal. Can you elaborate on how this legislation can help low to moderate income communities and minority groups in underbanked markets?
So this is an incredibly important product for a lot of consumers who do need a short, small dollar loan to finance, part of their business, to make ends meet for a particular time period. And banks have really seen regulatory whiplash around this over a course of about 10 years. Mm-hmm. Between the FDIC, the CFPB, the OCC, and the Fed, we saw 19 different actions on this product, really leaving institutions kind of in this regulatory purgatory. And so having the certainty and making sure that it's very clear how institutions can innovate and really try to offer these programs is essential. We do know the need is there. We actually, Pew Research has found that these loans typically cost consumers 15 times less than they would otherwise be paying externally, such as at a payday lender. So they're really important. They're a great tool for banks. Yeah. Banks typically don't make a whole lot of money. In some cases, they are actually losing money, but they're offering these products because they know it's a great way to bring people in the system.
Right, great. I'm excited because this could really expand access to credit for millions of Americans with little or no credit history. So I'm really thankful that we get to work with you on this. Also, I'm all for protecting consumers while ensuring that they have access to diverse financial tools at lower costs. However, under that leadership of Director Chopra, the CFPB has not conducted proper cost-benefit analysis, nor considered the long-term consequences of price controls on consumer choice. So in that proposed rule of the overdraft fee, the CFPB stated that this proposal will not apply to financial institutions with less than $10 billion in assets. So can you explain why this could be seen as a red herring to justify the proposal? Both Ms. Harbin and Ms. Johnson, you can chime in. Ms. Harbin first.
Thank you for that question. We believe that the trickle-down effect will certainly impact our institution and smaller community banks and credit unions. As the larger banks are forced to alter their prices, we will too for competitive pressure and the market forces, and it will greatly impact our ability to serve our members and to do business.
Yes, I couldn't say it better myself, and we've seen it play out. We've seen it play out with Reg II, where small institutions were carved out, but they still lost about 30% of that revenue. Mm-hmm. So it'll still be applied, and the CFPB also gave itself an ability to come back and re-examine if it wants to apply this to small issuers. So I think big and small all know that this is coming for them.
Thank you. Unfortunately, even the CFPB acknowledged that in the credit card fee proposal that consumers would never pay late, we discussed it earlier, that is about 74% of all Americans with credit cards. They will not benefit from the reduced fees, and they could even face higher maintenance fees, lower rewards, or even higher interest-paying account. Let me ask you, Mr. Anthony, on January 23rd of this year, you wrote a piece on how price controls, and I'm paraphrasing here, it can lead to shortages and price increases for all consumers. So in your view, rather than imposing government-mandated price controls, what could the CFPB do to incentivize the market to lower fees for consumers?
Well, thank you for the question, and it's the wrong approach to say that we need to build these barriers up. We need to build greater barriers that make it costlier for businesses to operate and then say that that is encouraging competition. What should be done is quite the opposite. Remove those barriers, make it easier for alternatives to enter the market and then create, through the discovery process, new ways to do business.
Thank you. Ms. Harbin, if your credit union member wants overdraft protection, but cannot, have access to that service because of the CFPB rules, where will they go to get those extra funds they need or want?
They will go down the street to a payday lender or a less desirable option.